Hey there, my friends. Brian King here. I was looking through my apps this morning, was what I tend to do to wake my brain up. And I was looking through my news app. There's doesn't matter which one because they all share basically the same stuff. And it has all these different categories. You can go to politics, or you can go to entertainment, or you can go to family or whatever. And what I noticed this morning is that virtually everything I was looking at was fear driven. Politics is all about how one side is telling you to fear the other, and they're both doing it, okay? And I'm seeing things about people on vacation being kidnapped by drug cartels or being swallowed up by volcanoes or being robbed or having some kind of intestinal parasite because of the cruise they went. So now vacation is a dangerous thing to do. I haven't watched TV in a long time, but I do know that there are some shows that take relationships and reduce them to some made-for-TV fairy tale where your future partner can be decided in a weekend of a makeout session, and you can say it's all TV, it's all pretend, that it's pretend, but this is what you're not tuned into. You're not tuned into the emotional state change that you experience when you take this stuff in. This morning, as I was reading through all of this fear nonsense, I felt my chest tighten and my pulse increase and, myself getting into a state I didn't want to be in. I have to talk to clients in a little bit. And I don't want to be coming from this place of fear and tension and dread. And so I quickly closed that app and thought to myself, holy cow, who is benefiting from pushing all this fear on me? All of these stories, jerking my emotion around. If they're not trying to make me afraid, they're trying to make me cry, or they're trying to make me angry. And not very many of them are trying to tell me that life is good. Things are working out. People are getting along. Change is happening. Progress is occurring. I don't see that. I do see it with the many people that I follow on Facebook and many on Instagram, not so much Twitter and LinkedIn. All they want to do is sell me things. But what it boils down to is all of this input that we're taking in through media that we are thinking it's information. We're staying in the know. We're hip, we're current, we're up to date. So much of this is spun in a way to encourage us to feel in a negative way. And here's the key, in a negative way towards each other. You need to fear your fellow citizen. That's the message that we're being fed. You can't go to vacation because some stranger is going to kidnap you or stab you or rob you or something. And of course, the people that are up in the ivory towers, they're the saviors. They're the ones that are going to make it all better. No, they're the ones that are manufacturing the fear. Whether it's the politicians or the people in charge of the media or the TV production companies, they're all trying to jerk us around emotionally and keep us unsteady. And then we look to them to help us correct. And I'm guilty of this. I go to YouTube videos for a good laugh when I'm feeling bummed or something. So I still look to media to help me emotionally regulate when some other media has pulled me off base. So one thing I am going to try and do is look more to my internal resources. I meditate a lot. I do mindfulness. And I'm going to see what I can do to pull back from using these external sources to help me regulate. Because as somebody with ADHD and anxiety issues, my baseline of anxiety is pretty high anyway. So it doesn't take a whole lot to tip it up. And I imagine that's similar for you as well, especially if you spend as much time in front of a screen as I do. So I'm going to try and pull back so that I can allow my nervous system to settle a little bit better instead of reacting to all of this input, and just kind of letting life be and taking it in as it is so that I can reconnect with the fact that this world we're being sold, this chaos, this entropy, this impending civil war that some people are talking about. This does not exist in my neighborhood. My neighborhood is where I live with my family. It's not all of this war, famine, rape, murder, catastrophe that's being fed to us every day in small doses or big doses, all of which contributes in this, what I'm going to be calling a fear factor for the purpose of this little video, is how much does fear factor into the way you experience life? Because if you are anxious about things, you will look for things to be anxious about to validate whether you're on the right path or not. Because we want to feel right. We want to feel certain. We want to believe that things can be predictable. So if you're thinking dreadful thoughts, you'll want evidence to support that, yes, dread is a reasonable thing to experience right now. Or if you're pissed off, you'll look for things to reinforce the reason why you're pissed off, so you can say, see, I'm right. Really? Is that what you want to be right about? You want to celebrate the negative possibilities of life, the things that people are doing that are making things more difficult. Now, I'm not saying ignore them completely, because we do want to keep those entities in check. But you don't want to take these things in so disproportionately that it impacts the way you feel about yourself, the way you feel about life. Too much fear can only tear you down. So if you want for yourself, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to delete my news apps. I'm not going to run to YouTube every time I need a laugh. And I'm going to see what happens to my overall fear factor as a result of that fast. So I could probably ramble on for another half hour about this and just kind of speaking stream of consciousness to get this out of my system. Hopefully there's some value in here for you. If so, leave me some comments. And until we talk again, this has been Brian. Thanks for being you.